Hi everyone, I'm Talia and today I'm showing you a blending technique. So I got a question on my Plan With Me January video last month. Apparently I had some fans for my blending technique that I used on my tracker, how it went dark to light. And so someone asked if I could do a tutorial and I said, sure, why not? So that's what we're doing today. Okay, so for the blending technique, I used my Tombos, and also there's the N00, which is the blending marker. This comes in all of the 10 packs, and you get one with the 96 pack that has all the colors in it. And I believe you can buy them separately, but that's what I use for the blending. Now, if you guys are already scoffing at me because you don't have Tombos and you're not going to go out and buy them, I can do a similar technique with Crayola Super Tips, which I love my Crayola Super Tips, to be honest. And there's a 50 pack that I always buy, or that I've bought twice for $7. The markers got snatched from the kids until I ran out, so I bought a separate set just for me. So I'm going to show you with the Tombos, and then I'll show you the cheaper version that I think looks just as good. So the Tombos that I used to create that technique that you saw on my Plan With Me January video, which I'll be linking in the corner, was 451 and 535. Now 451 is really, really light. I was going for an icy look, but it doesn't show up that well on camera. So actually it was kind of a risk last month, but thank you all so much for watching and enjoying it. However, for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to swap out the 451 for a slightly darker blue, the 452. See? One more step. It'll just make it easier for everyone to see because I have really good lighting here and it's like white desk, white paper. So when I take something this light, it pretty much vanishes on camera. So I'm going to just write the letter A and blend that. So we'll just do some alphabet letters here so you can get the idea. So you can make the A however you want. Your creativity. So that is how I made my A. But again, it does not have to be a fancy brush lettering for you to do this technique. So I'll go ahead and write just a plain old B like we learned in school, right? Circle, stick. Okay? Alright, so then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your darker color. So this is the color I was just using, 452. Now I'm using my 535, which is considerably darker. And I'm going to be using the blending Tombow. I have a little scrap piece of paper off to the side here that I can kind of wipe off the brush. Now the trick to this in watercoloring and with water-based marker blending is you can't let it dry, because if it dries it leaves a harsh line and you can't blend it anymore. So I'm going to start here because this is going to be dark blue. So anything that's going to be dark blue, you can just leave dark blue like that. And then I'm going to come up to about this line in dark, and that's kind of where I want my gradient to be. So maybe I'll stop just a little bit before that line. So I put the dark on. There it is. And then I grab my blender and I blend it out. And then I can wipe it off and the color is gone. And sometimes I'll do another layer of blending after that to kind of give it a full gradient back into the color. And then you can wipe off your blender again. So if you don't want to use the blender comes, you can buy it separately, but it comes in all the 10 packs, and you only get one when you buy the 96 pack. Go figure. But if you don't want to use the blender, you don't have to. You can actually use the lighter color brush to blend also. So I'm going to do that for the other half of the A. Okay, so this part's going to stay dark, so I'm going to make it dark. So anything that's going to be dark. And if you had like a Y or a J, something that extends below the line, you could just color that all dark. Or you also have the option of blending it down the other way. But either way, you can just pick up where you left off. Just when you get to the point where you want to start blending, you need to stop. I'm going to grab my color, my lighter color, and blend it out. And then I'm going to wipe it off, get that dark off. I think it's a little bit easier and a little bit stronger with the actual color. Wipe off any dark. And then there we go. We're back to the color. So see? Gradient. And we'll do it again with plain old B, because I don't want you to think that only brush letters can be shaded. So we're going to go over here to B. Shading it again with the lighter color. Oops, kind of went out of the lines there. Can't be too crazy. But there you go. You have your gradient. And I'll do it again with the blender. So I'll make this dark down here. And then we'll take it up to about there. And then I'll start to blend. All right, there. Wipe it off. Blend a little more. And wipe it off. Okay, so then you get the darker to lighter look. So now that I've done it with the Tombos, I wanted to show you, just for the people that don't want to go out and shell out a bunch of money on Tombos, you can do the same thing with the Super Tips. So the colors aren't exactly the same, but they're pretty close. This is the Turquoise Surf. And this is the blue. They don't come with numbers, but I could kind of tell from the back which color was which. They had a chart on the back of the 50 pack. They don't have that on the back of the 100 pack. And I'm not sure if they have it on the back of the 20. I haven't checked. But I bought the 50 pack. It was $7. And it has 50 colors in there, which is more than half of how many Tombos you get. And it's got a great color variety, so you could really get away with just using these. So I'm going to do the A and the B again with Crayola's Super Tips, just to show you what that would look like. Okay. So see, you can do hand lettering with Crayola Super Tips. And then we're going to do our standard B again. So let me do my circle and straight down. Okay, so there's our A and our B. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the lighter color as my blender. So again, these are water-based, so you can wipe them off, and I'm going to fold over my sheet here so I just don't mix. And this is going to be my little scribble page. Okay, so I'm going to start making this blue. Come over here, go about to where I want it, and then start blending with the lighter one. And wipe it off. Blend a little more. Wipe it off. Blend a tiny bit more. And that'll be good. Yeah, this turquoise is definitely a different color than that one. Probably should have gone with the sky blue. That might have been better. Not sure. Maybe I'll do another letter. Okay, blending. Blending some more. There you go. I'm going to try a sky blue, see if it's a little bit closer, because that turquoise surf is really green. So let me try. Ah, that's better. That's closer. Try doing the B that way. Now we're going to use the sky blue and the blue. So I'm going to go in with my blue, make the bottom dark. I'm going to come up a little bit higher, just to see how that feels blend wise. Okay, so sorry I cut out the tail end of the blending there, but as you can see, the colors are really close. You can get the same kind of look with these pens. So I do recommend them if you want to go with something a little cheaper. And since we're talking about blending techniques, if this is a little hard for you and it's going to take a while, there's something I kind of like to do when I don't feel like taking the time to meticulously blend. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that right now. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take a pen that doesn't bleed. The Sharpie pens are my favorite for not bleeding, and I do most of my writing with them. I get them in fine. And what you can do is you can I like to do block letters with it. So I'll do an A. And kind of make the shape in there. And I'll do a B, since we're kind of in our A and B right now. What I'll do, and I'll use the same colors just so you can see what thing is, I'll just kind of scribble it on there and get kind of a similar look. It's a blending look. So I take the light one and do the top, and this one you don't have to go all the way to the bottom, you just kind of do a little crazy. And then you just two-tone it at the bottom, and they kind of just overlap in the middle there. And it seems like when you do it a little haphazardly like that, it gives it a blended look. It's not blended. It's not as pretty as that one, but it's kind of a two-tone blended look. And I used to do a lot of headers for months that way, for my dailies with my months on them. And I really enjoyed how that looks. So there's a lot of different things you can do. You can play around with Tombows and Crayola Super Tips. So that was the main point. I just wanted to show you how to do the blending technique in case you wanted to use it for any of your headers in the future. I hope that was helpful, and if you have any other questions or comments, please leave them below. And that'll be it, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.